you in with Richard. Exactly. Okay, Marilyn.
I may need help trying to formulate what I want to ask.
Sure.
But since we have this new beginning and there's these possibilities,
Yeah.
then our next step is to be more ensouling.
Mm-hmm.
And how is this changing in the direction of where the whole collective is going?
It isn't changing the direction as much as it's broadening the choices. It's giving you more options. So you've gone from high school where you get to choose between a couple different classes per hour to college where you get to choose between 100 classes per hour. You're still getting educated. You're just getting educated in a new way. So you're still experiencing, you're just experiencing in a new way. And really what you're experiencing is the physical form evolving by the evolution of the physical form due to a deeper ensouling that's monitored through consciousness, and the biological responses are affected through tools.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. You've got a body.
Yeah.
You're asking it to become something brand new.
Uh-huh.
Something that can carry your soul, in addition to what we're calling the operator, which is a really lame term, but you know, it's from the Matrix, so we're stuck with it. So you've got the operator, Marilyn, in this case. You've got a body. We can see it. You're bringing in your soul. In order to bring in your soul, you had to become conscious. Part of becoming conscious is dealing with the biological responses, which of course we mean is fight or flight, fear of getting dead, that stuff. So you've dealt with the biological responses. As you bring in more of your soul, you start to re-experience the physical form in a new way from the soul's perspective. That fuels, it's a infinite motion, what's that? Perpetual motion, it's perpetual motion. Bringing in the soul fuels evolution of the body. Evolution of the body opens up opportunities for more soul's energy. Bringing in more soul's energy fuels a further evolution of the body, which opens up. You see how that goes? It's like a visual.
So the cells are even changing?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. The physical body is absolutely changing. Not so much yet. Mostly so far it's just new neural pathways. But sufficiently new neural pathways starts to rewrite the way the body is written. You see, because it's laid down by chemical responses coming out of the brain. When you write new neural pathways, you start to lay down new chemical responses. Those new chemical responses have a different effect on the cells, different effect on the white blood cells, the red blood cells, the bone marrow. All that stuff becomes affected through a different chemical cocktail. That different chemical cocktail can and will result in an evolutionary process where the physical form will actually start to change. Now, we don't see you growing 3 arms. What we see you being able to do is have more conscious control over the effects, the affectations of the body. So you want your hair to grow faster, grow slower, grow a different color, things like that will be easy. You want to heal certain parts of your body that aren't running at 100% efficiency, that will be something that you also can do. It becomes part of the free will zone, rather than having to be a reflection of lessons needing to be learned, a reflection of habitual response, a reflection of lower vibrational states. It becomes a reflection of consciousness. The consciousness that allows you to say, I'm not getting dead here, so I don't need to be in fear, is the same consciousness that can say, I'd like my hair to be red again, so I'd like it to start growing in red, please. It's the exact same level. It's the exact same operating system, just operating at a different level of efficiency.
We could build bone too?
You could do anything you want. You could grow a third arm if you want, but then you stand out in a crowd. And we know how much you all don't like to stand out in crowds, so we suggest you play with other things first. But knowing how overachieving you some are, you know, but yeah. So, you know, there's a superhero power. You know, back when we were doing superhero powers, we don't remember anybody saying, I'd like to be able to add bone mass, but that's actually a pretty cool one. One, nobody will know.
Right.
So you don't have to deal with any of that cultural crap that brought up fears. And two, it helps you feel like you can live in the body in a more fun way. So why not? What's key here is that you have found through tools, through consciousness, and through willingness, really, choose and choose again. How long has that been around? Choose and choose again, to modify the body's biological responses. And by that we mean mostly the fight or flight response. You know, when you study these high-level martial arts masters, this is what they learn to do. They learn to control how their body reacts in certain situations, and that's why they can do things that seem miraculous. It's because they're actually able to control the body's reaction in certain situations that in most people are habituated. Well, that's what you're learning to do. You're learning to have more control over the body's biological reactions to situations. You just aren't, you know, interested in being able to put your finger through a 2x4 as much as you're interested in being able to lay down more bone mass, or whatever else you might be interested in. But your ability to feel triggered or to feel the huge adrenaline rush that comes with being in fear and say, I know I'm not actually in danger, and resolve that within yourself, and then go into neutral observation and have a brand new experience is very interesting and is on par with being able to put your finger through a 2x4, because it's the same skill set applied differently. This is why a lot of times those high-level martial arts masters are also deeply spiritual people, because they've had to do a lot of self-exploration to get to the point of having that kind of control over their physical reactions. Okay? Yes?
I can hear the Visionaries say, I'm hearing you yell, how? You know, we've talked about how affirmations really aren't, that's old stuff.
Yeah, it's totally old stuff.
So do we just hold the energetic that we know we're building bone mass?
Well, if you're talking specifically about building bone mass, one of the things, you know, anytime you want, we're starting our own sentence over 3 times, that's funny. It's like the superhero power. So we go back to that tool. What was the tool with the superhero power is what stands between me and having the superhero power, and healing that in order to magnetize the superhero power. So if you don't believe you have enough bone mass, what is the reason you believe that that has to be the state you're in? Well, I'm old, or I didn't eat enough calcium, or my mother, or my genetics, or. And then look at each of those things with an eye to what's really going on here. What's really going on here? That's where you apply consciousness. So first you need a level of consciousness that helps you recognize those places in between what you want and where you are. The things you throw up. And then you need the second pass of consciousness that says what's really going on in each of those places. And then the third level of passive consciousness is to not allow yourself to go back into habit because you've just had lots of practice at it, but instead to catch yourself and say, no, I'm clear on what's actually going on there. That's what keeps you from anything you want in your life, whether, you'll be nice, whether it's money or a partner or health or, is the things you're throwing up, and they're typically limited mind things that say it can't be done. It's not possible. And we're here to tell you that's not true. It's not that it's not possible. It is that you don't know the possibilities of your in-souled state. Remember, you don't know nothing. Okay?